challenge of that though, when you get a little bit comfortable in your method is, and I think on this new record, is that all of a sudden you're sort of in a new song and you sort of say to yourself, I've been here, man. Like, we've been here. So now we've got to flip it on its head.
Still to this day, I don't know why my mom would have gone out and buy a synthesizer.
Great.
Yeah.
Not knowing the impact she was about to have.
Exactly, yeah.
We were just checking out the Elliot Smith session. Hesse actually reckons he's watched that, what, 60 times?
So many times, yeah.
I can guarantee you this is a cloud of smoke.
So let's talk about Palace Winter. How come there's an Australian sitting on that side and a Danish guy on that side?
What are you doing here?
Oh man, that story's, I mean, now I've been here for 12 years in Copenhagen. So moved here in 2008. And my now wife, who was, you know, the reason behind all that, is from Sweden, but we fell in love with Copenhagen and yeah, been here ever since. Now we got a kid and all that stuff, and played in an alternative country like Americana thing for a while, and went on a tour opening for a band that Hesse was playing in, and then we hit it off and decided to start Palace, and yeah, the rest is history, really.
When you started Palace Winter, were you aiming at something that you couldn't find in other bands?
I do all this more synthy stuff and do all this production with people, and I just thought this might work together.
One way or another, yeah, you can hear the influence of important guitarists, of course, but also there's a slight sense of human league in it, and that's what I like very much. That's probably the synthing of Caspar.
Yeah, that's Hesse.
Yeah. Like my earliest influence, and I think that's where it all comes from actually, is Jean-Michel.
Oh, yeah.
That's the earliest music I remember listening to, because we had these compilation tapes, synthesizer greats. And still to this day, I don't know why my mom would have gone out and buy a synthesizer great. Yeah.
Not knowing the impact she was about to have.
Exactly, yeah. So, I mean, definitely that, like those 80s legends in a couple of ways, but probably mostly Jean-Michel, really.
The way you're actually sitting over there, you feel like a great team. How does it work with you guys?
I don't want to make it sound easy, because it's not very, the whole
This
thing.
one almost killed us.
The whole process, from start to finish is very long and it is a long and it is a tough process, but the actual songwriting for some reason comes fairly easy to us. And I think it has to do with, by now we've figured out a way to leave space for each other.
Yeah,
that's true.
Nobody ever comes with an entire song, and it wouldn't make sense. I feel like by now I know what I need to do. I need to come up with something interesting, like a chord progression, an interesting beat, maybe some sort of instrumental part, and then I need to leave it. I need to deliberately not try to finish this, not try to put like any solid form to this. And then Carl will sing on it, and we'll tweak stuff, and we'll do that until we're happy with it.
I think the challenge of that though, when you get a little bit comfortable in your method, is that, and I think on this new record, is that all of a sudden you're sort of in a new song and you sort of say to yourself, I've been here, man. Like we've been here. So now we've got to flip it on its head. Even if you're a little bit attached to a certain melody or something, it's like, okay, but let's put it in the mixer and the cement mixer and just fuck it up a bit. Sorry, I don't know if you can swear, but
every song is an opportunity to do something else. Like there's no reason for us to replicate stuff, and whenever find ourselves doing that a little bit, I think we're pretty good at, okay,
pull on the reins and
yeah, exactly, step on the brakes and say, okay. And we've done that with this album in a few places where the songs were sort of taking shape into something that was very comfortable for us to do, and then we flipped the whole thing. I thought about it the other day, like with what experience sort of brings to making music, and it's pretty interesting because I feel like you have to constantly remind yourself with the more and more experience you get, you have to swap that for courage or self-confidence that you will find something cool, even if you throw out this thing that you're pretty good at. There's this famous writer in Denmark called Knud Romer. I heard him say a while back that somebody asked him, how do you write a good book? And then he said, you edit a bad one. And that's sort of, I think there's a lot of truth to that, really, because that's also the reason why we don't have any spare songs. Like we work on music until we feel it's good. We don't have, it's not like we have finished songs. Like all the songs you hear
that don't make it,
are the songs that have ever been
written by us.
produced.
That's true.
Yeah.
The other little thing that I wanted to add that I always tell myself when we're working together is, and Bowie said it, and he just says, you've always got to be a little bit embarrassed. And I reckon that's a really simple mantra to keep telling yourself.
Yeah.
Just take risks. It's so simple, but it means a lot. Yeah, it's great to talk to you because we know you're a bit of a legend. So we were just checking out the Elliot Smith session. Big fans.
Okay, cool.
Hesse actually reckons he's watched that,
I've watched
60
that
times?
so many times, yeah.
Now she's done and they're calling someone, such a familiar name. I'm so glad that my memory's remote, 'cause I'm doing just fine hour to hour, note to note. Here it is, the revenge to the tune. You're no good, you're no good, you're no good, you're no good. Can't you tell?
You never expect people who are working in the music business to be so open and to be so physically honest. I mean, he was more than just honest. He just couldn't do it. And when he finished one of the songs by just simply saying, I'm so fed up with this song.
I'm here today, expected to stay on and on and on. I can't do this song. I've played it too many times. I've just played it hundreds of times and I'm just sick of it and I just can't play it. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right.
Maybe there's some...
But that was a little bit how he was in a lot of interviews, wasn't he? Like he was so such a fragile person, but he was always pretty open about it too, you know.
So has Elliott Smith been a source of influence for you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, very much, very much.
Why is that? Is it because of his way of songwriting or his way of guitar playing or the way he just was?
I think for me, it's a number of things. First of all, it's the songwriting, of course, and the first album that I got of his was that Roman Candle, which is like 4-track recordings.
Yeah, that's the first thing
done in his basement, I think, at the time. That was sort of my way into also singer-songwriter music, and I was just really struck by, even, you know, as lo-fi as that is, and as you know, there's nothing produced about that album in any way, not deliberately anyway, probably, but the songs just came through and just were so good already, you know, like from the start. And that's always been like, I've always wondered, how was he so good from the start like that? I can still go back and just be amazed by how good those songs were. And then later on, he sort of developed into this really, I think, like a visionary production-wise also. And you know, I would have loved to see what he would have done, like where would he had gone after, like had he still been alive.
And so you'd soon be leaving me alone, like I'm supposed to be tonight, tomorrow, and every day. There's nothing here that you'll miss. I can guarantee you this is a cloud of smoke, trying to occupy space. What a fucking joke. What a fucking joke.
So I think for me, so it's, you know, first of all the songs, and then I think he had such an ear for production and, you know, making things, taking obviously a lot of influences from his past and a lot of Beatles and a lot of classic influences, but
I only really noticed recently how much Beatles is in it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of silly, because when it hits you, you're like, oh, it's so obvious.
But then it's still
almost
very much a product of the 90s.
True.
At the same time. And I think there's nothing really retro about it.
I heard Jonah's Policewoman talk about this, and she said, like, it's Beatles but with better lyrics, but she sort of said it with like, she was like, I know you can't bag the Beatles, but I thought yeah, there's a bit of truth in that. But yeah, I think what Hesse said, it's for me, it's the melodies and just the songcraft, and then of course all that mystique that came with this Elliott Smith kind of, especially when you find that shit when you're a teenager and you're like, oh, this dude's really sad. And, you know, when you're a teenager and you're going through all that stuff and all those emotions, and yeah, it struck a chord for sure. And it never goes away.
One thing I just thought of, there's no persona with Elliott Smith. And I think that is also really unique for him. Like, there's no act.
Nope.
And no, as you could tell from the session you did with him, and from like if you watch live bootlegs or whatever videos,
it's just raw.
There's no persona there.
Yeah,
it's
that's
just
true.
That guy, and I think that's pretty special.
It's nice to talk about Elliott Smith. Although I'm almost absolutely sure, let's say 99.9%, that he would hate the idea of us talking about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
100%, yeah.
That's the big deal.
Yeah.
And I could have gone to that place, but I didn't understand. I didn't understand. I didn't understand.
Stay safe, stay healthy.
Thanks so much for this.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, it's nice to talk to you.
Hope to see you in person next time.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll see you in Holland, hopefully soon.
See you soon. Thanks a lot.
Good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.